Good morning, everybody. Students, today we are discussing the next step of a surprise reunion. Yesterday we have discussed vocabulary words and the essential question. Today we'll be discussing the genre of the story, uh, surprise reunion, page 381, 80 and 81. Today we'll be talking about the genre, which is historical fiction, and also we'll be talking about vocabulary strategy, which is connotation and denotation. Page 388, 389. And you will be doing this homework. Some people already sent me it. Thank you. Let's go to the story. As you can see here, yesterday, those were the vocabulary words we have discussed. Today, we will be discussing the genre of the story. Let me zoom it in so that you can see one page, because we need to focus on this page now. Historical fiction. What do you mean by historical fiction? The genre of this story is historical fiction. Genre, it means the type of the story, whether it is real or it's fictional, whether it is a poem, a short story, whether it's a novel. It means the kind of the story, what kind of story we are discussing. This is the meaning of genre. And this story, Surprise Reunion, is a historical fiction story. What do you mean by historical fiction? Maybe some of you have an idea about it. Maybe it's new to some other students. Historical fiction. Historical comes from history, which means the knowledge of the past. Uh, and fiction, it means made up, fictional. Fiction, it comes from fictional, which is made up. Fiction is something that's not real, and historical, it is something related to the history. I don't know if I can use the pen to write something here. Yeah. Historical means, let me translate fiction. It is made up. Fiction, it is made up story. Made up, or this is very thick. I need to clear it out and use different size. Okay, I'll be using this one, the blue. Fiction, it means made up. Made up or not real. Fiction, it is made up. You can also say not real. Not real. Yeah, that's the meaning of fiction. Historical means related to the past, or the knowledge of the past. Historical means history, related to past, related to the past. Forget about this one. Oh, related again, related to past. Sorry for this type of handwriting, but it's really very hard to write using this mouse. Okay, this is the meaning of historical fiction. It means something that's made up, that's not real, but it is related to the past. When we say that fictional is not real, that doesn't mean that all the historical fiction is made up or all of it is not real. Sometimes we have some real information in the historical fiction stories. Let me take you down. What are the characteristics of the historical fiction? When do we say that this story is historical fiction? The selection and surprise reunion is historical fiction. Why? Because historical fiction has many characteristics. Historical fiction takes place in the past, and this story takes place in the past. It includes realistic events, characters, events, and setting. Realistic doesn't mean real, but it is very close to reality. It includes realistic characters. It means the characters we find in this story are very close to the characters we find in real life. But that doesn't mean that they are real. And the events, the things that happen in the story, also very close to things happen in real life. The events are very close to real life. It's like the events we are having in our daily life. The setting, it means the time and the place. The time and the place also are realistic or very close to reality. So time, the setting, it means time and the place of the story. Time and place. Okay. This is the meaning of setting. The setting of the story means the time and the place. Once you are asked about the setting of the story, it means what is the time and the place of the story. You can't say that the time of the story is in summer, in winter, in fall, whatever. The place could be a house, it could be a school, it could be a street, it could be a city, anywhere. And finally, the last characteristic of historical fiction is that it includes dialogue. Dialogue means that the conversation between the characters. The speech between the characters is called dialogue. In the realistic fiction stories, we see characters talking to each other, like what we are going to see in the surprise reunion. Now, let us apply all those characteristics to the story surprise reunion and find out how it is a realistic fiction story. A surprise reunion is historical fiction. Why? Why it is a historical fiction story? I know that Chef, those are characters in the story. We will read about them after a while. I know that Chef Kemawit and Sakajawa are real people. Yeah, we know that they are real people. The dialogue is fictional. Well, the dialogue is fictional between them. Yeah, here they brought for us characters from the past. They are real characters. Kemawait and Sakajawa, they are real people in the American history, but the dialogue, the conversation between them was not real. It was fictional. Why it's fictional? Because the author doesn't know what was said during the meeting between Chef Kemawit and Sakajawa. Okay, yeah, this is a real depiction of historical fiction. The author here brought three characters from the American history. They are very famous name in the American history. They are real characters in the American history, but the conversation, the dialogue between them was fictional. How can we know that this dialogue is fictional, is made up, is not real? It is because the author was not with them and he couldn't know what was happening between them during the meeting. Let's go down and find the dialogue between those two characters. Dialogue, I told you about the meaning of dialogue. Dialogue is the words that characters speak in the story. Dialogue helps you understand what the characters are thinking and feeling. Of course, when you listen to somebody speaking, you know what kind of person is it. If you are a good listener, if you have good knowledge about people, you can understand that this character is like this way because He's using such words because this is his logic and whatever. The dialogue. Lewis and Clark were happy to have been unwitting partners in this reunion. Chief Kamawait promised them he would provide whatever help and resources they needed. You have given me a great gift, Kamawait told them. You see here, those words are said by Kamawait. So those are his speech, his dialogue. Yeah. You have reunited me with my beloved sister. Our people will sing and tell stories so that all may remember the honor this day of generations, for generations to come. So here we have a dialogue, we have conversation between characters, we have Kemawi speaking, and this is a part of the dialogue. That's all about historical fiction. I will just make a kind of review that this story genre is the genre of this story is historical fiction, and historical fiction it means story from the past with realistic characters, events, and setting, but it may include people or it may include events that are not real. Though the events could be very close to real life, but they could be fake events with the real characters, but fake events. To summarize what I have mentioned, I will take you here. Mhm. And you share. I will take you to yeah characteristics of historical fiction. Historical fiction has realistic characters, events, and setting. Realistic doesn't mean real, but they are very close to reality. Historical fiction is set in the past and it's based on real events that happened during a specific period of time in history. Historical fiction can have fictional characters and characters that are based on real people. Yeah, we may have real people, but we invent characters, we change names, and we make events that are very close to the events happen to the real people's lives. Historical fiction includes literary elements such as dialogue. This is a kind of summary of what historical fiction means. Back to the story. Yeah. Uh, the second part of our discussion today is about um, the vocabulary strategy. The vocabulary strategy of today is connotation and denotation. I think many of you are asking what's the meaning of connotation, what's the meaning of denotation. Uh, when we say uh, connotation, let me start with denotation. Denotation is the literal dictionary definition of the word. I will just highlight this part. Yeah. Denotation is the meaning of the word in the dictionary. That's the meaning of denotation. Denotation comes from dictionary meaning. So the denotation of a word, when I say, for example, uh, uh, when I say, for example, uh, any word and its meaning in the dictionary, this is called denotation. Let me, for example, give you the word classroom. Classroom is the place where people may meet and have a lesson. So this is the dictionary meaning. At the same time, we have connotation meaning for the classroom. I give you an idea about the connotation meaning. Connotation. Okay, connotation. Connotation is the idea that could be created in your mind when you hear that word. Okay, classroom is the place where you take your lesson and go to school and find it. But at the same time, the classroom is the place where you see your friends. It's the place where you may be happy with the teacher. It's the place where you have all that kind of feeling, whether they are happy or not. I'll give you another another definition or another explanation for connotation and denotation. Let me use a new share. Okay, connotation and denotation. I will just use the okay definition. Okay, here is it. New share whiteboard. Okay. Okay, we finished here. I will move to denotation and connotation. Okay, I'll take here. Let me first remove this one. It's better. Okay, now we can work freely here. Yeah, denotation and connotation. So, as you can see here, guys, that denotation is the literal definition of the word. The literal definition of the word. It is the meaning of the word in the dictionary. That's what we mean by denotation. When we say connotation, it is the feeling that comes from that word. I give you a perfect example for this. For example, if I say a mother, say mother, as connotation, as denotation meaning, as the meaning in the dictionary, the mother is the one who uh, uh, the mother is the one who brought you to this life. Okay, this is the uh, yeah denotation meaning. I will just write here denotation, denotation. The denotation meaning of a mother, as a denotation is mother is the one who brought you to this life. Okay, this is the denotation meaning. Yeah. What about the connotation meaning? Connotation meaning of a mother. The connotation meaning of a mother is endless. Why? Because mother could be kindness. Mother could be happiness. Mm, and mother could be love. Do you see the meaning of? I think now it's very clear. The meaning of denotation, connotation. Denotation is the literal meaning, is the meaning of the word in the dictionary. It is a definition of the word in the dictionary. Okay, it is a definition of the word. This is the meaning of denotation. It is a definition of the word in the dictionary. What does it mean? Like here, the definition meaning of a mom is the one who brought you to this life. Okay, but the connotation meaning, it means connotation is the feeling of the word or the effect that it has on the reader. When you hear the word mother, you don't only remember that she is the one who brought you to this life, but you also remember that she is the one who loves you. She's kind. She's the source of kindness. She is a source of happiness. Okay, she is the source of all the good feeling that we may have in our life. I think now it's very clear for you the meaning of denotation and connotation. I will take you back to the lesson. Screen sharing. Okay, I'll take you here or here or here. Okay, I think now things are clear. Let us apply what we have learned on the lesson. Find text evidence. When I read the words scrolling on page 338 in surprising, I know its connotation differs from its denotation. The denotation is very thin. The connotation is weak. Notice that the definition of the word in the dictionary as a dictionary meaning, it means thin, but it has also another meaning. It is the feeling that gives for us is weak or vulnerable. Vulnerable is also another meaning of another word for weak. She had been scrawny and demanding, and had an irritating habit of following him everywhere. So, scrawny, the author, when he used this word, he didn't only mean that it is thin, but also the word doesn't only carry the meaning of thin, but also carries the meaning of weak. Uh, Please go to, now it's your turn, and I want you to go now to page 330, 83 and 300, and find on the other page the same word, another word in the same page, 383 also, and page 384, and find the connotation and the denotation meanings for those words. Find what does it mean in the dictionary as a dictionary meaning. At the same time, read about it in the dictionary. What other hidden meanings could this word have? Assertive also. Assertive, it means confident as a dictionary meaning, as denotation. But as a connotation, what does it mean? Go and find it. The last word for today is slender. Slender, yeah. What does it mean? Find it is denotation meaning and connotation meaning. One last example of denotation and connotation is when I say uh, when you say the name of your country. For example, and you are from a certain country. Once you say the name of this country, yeah, it is the name of the certain country, but at the same time, this name carries a lot of meaning for you because you belong to this place and your parents love it, you love it. Maybe you have good memories of in that place. Uh, that's all about today lesson. We have discussed two things. We have discussed the genre of surprise reunion and this historical fiction, and we talked about historical fiction and how historical fiction story is. At the same time, we talked about connotation and denotation, and we said denotation is the meaning of the word in the dictionary, and connotation, what other meanings this word could carry. And I gave you an example about a word like mother. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay. I give you this example. A mother as a dictionary meaning means the one who brought you to this life, but as connotation meaning, it means it is a kindness, happiness, love, whatever. Uh, Thank you all for listening, and wish you understand my lesson. Thank you so much.